5, Unit 17, subtracting tens from hundreds. Unit 17.1, we're subtracting tens from hundreds using 100 to 300. Let's look at example A. In this problem we have a missing number. We've already been given the answer, but we've got to figure out what number would go in the box. So if we were to break this down, we know that 0 minus 0 is 0. We're okay there. So 10 minus what number would give us 3? That would be 7. We can also think about 3 plus 7 equals 10. Let's look at example B. 200 minus 30. Let's start with the ones column. 0 minus 0 is 0. Now if we look at the tens column and we go to subtract, you cannot subtract 3 from 0. So then we have to come over here to the hundreds column and take and borrow 100 there and make that to a 1. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to take that borrowed number and make that a 10. So now we can subtract. 10 minus 3 is 7. And the 1, there's nothing to subtract from, so we just bring it down for an answer of 170. Unit 17.2. Subtract tens from 100s using 300 to 500. Example A. We have a missing number here that we want to fill in. 300 minus what number equals 280? Well, we could just count by tens. We've had some practice at that. We could say 280 to 290 to 300 means that we increased 20 times, so that's the number that we subtracted. Let's look at example B. 400 minus 50. Starting with the ones column. 0 minus 0, 0. Tens column. Cannot subtract 5 from 0. So we're going to come over here, we're going to cross out the 4, make it a 3. Take that borrowed number, make the 0 a 10. Now 10 minus 5 is 5. The 3 just comes down for an answer of 350. Unit 17.3, subtracting tens from hundreds using 500 to 700. Let's look at example A. We have 500 minus 40. Starting with the ones column, we get an answer of 0. In the tens column, 4 minus 0, cannot do that. We have to borrow from the 5, make it a 4. Then we have to make that 0 a 10. Now 10 minus 4 we can do. That's a 6. Then we bring down the 4 for a final answer of 460. Unit 17.4. Subtract tens from hundreds using 700 to 900. Let's look at example A. We have a missing number we want to fill in. Remember, we're subtracting here. So we took 0 minus 0, which is 0. We're good there. Now here we can't take 3 from 0, so we eventually had to borrow. Well, if we look at the answer in our hundreds column, which is a 6, we have to know then that it was a 6 after we borrowed. So before we borrowed, our missing number is a 7. Let's look at example B. 800 minus 80. Subtract the ones column first. 0 minus 0, 0. Subtract the 10 column second. We can't take 8 from 0. You cannot subtract. So we come over here and we're going to borrow from the 8, make it a 7. Take that borrowed number and make the 0 a 10. Now we have 10 minus 8, which is 2, and the 7 just drops to form 720. Unit 17.5. Subtracting tens from hundreds using 100 to 900. Let's look at example A. We have 2 missing numbers that we want to try and fill in. So let's see, in column 1 or the ones column, we're good there. 0 minus 0 is 0. In column 2, 0 minus some number is 4. Well, we know that's not possible, so at some point we've had to borrow and make that a 10. So 10 minus what number equals 4? That is 6. Now over here we have our hundreds number is a 5. Starts off as a 5, but remember we had to borrow initially to make that a 10, which means that our missing number is also a 6.